Kaya bang ma-perfect ang demonstration teaching? Welcome back to the Filipino Teachers Channel. This is Teacher Mark, and today I will share to you how to perfect the score for demonstration teaching or classroom observation. Yes, you heard it right. Kayang-kaya ma-perfect ang demonstration teaching. Kung hindi man ay dapat close to perfect score. Kaya stay tuned until the end of the video because I will share with you my experiences and sample lesson plan I made during my demonstration teaching. So this video is purposely created for our aspiring teacher applicants as well as those who are already in the service and would like to gain some knowledge and tips on how they could improve their teaching skills, most especially during demonstration or classroom observation. So let's start. Recently, I have stated in my previous videos on teacher hiring that the points for demonstration will be 35 points. So dapat kailangan mag-prepare for the demonstration teaching lalo na those na kulang pa sa experience or training kasi dito tayo pwede makabawi. So in this video, I will elaborate only 5 PPST classroom observable indicators as basis for rating demonstration teaching in hiring teachers. So these indicators are also recurring sa quarterly classroom observation or CO ng mga teachers want to master teachers. So as they say, in order for us to perfect an exam, we should know the coverage of the exam and how we will be assessed. So just like that, kung gusto natin mataas ang score natin sa demonstration teaching ay dapat alam din natin kung paano tayo i-evaluate para alam natin kung ano ang dapat i-prepare at i-include sa ating demonstration. So depending on the career stage, iba-iba ang maximum points na pwedeng makuha during classroom observation based on the classroom observation rating sheet. So for teacher applicants, the highest points will be 6. For teachers 1 to 3 naman, maximum of 7 points. For our master teachers, maximum of 8 points. So first in the indicators is apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching area. So actually, isa to sa mga challenging na mga indicators to achieve. Para ma-perfect po natin ang indicator na ito, the teacher demonstrates accurate and in-depth knowledge of all concepts in presenting the lesson and in responding to learners' questions in a manner that is responsive to learners' developmental needs and promotes learning. The teacher makes meaningful connection across curriculum teaching areas if appropriate. And yung features of practice naman para makuha itong points na ito is that the teacher displays extensive knowledge of content and the teacher addresses content accurately and its focus is congruent with the big ideas and or structure of the teaching area. So just to clarify lang what do we mean by across curriculum teaching area? So it means making meaningful connections and including appropriate interdisciplinary topics and learning competencies cited in the curriculum guide of other learning subject areas in any grade level. So in other words, dapat ma-relate po natin yung ating chosen topic to other subject areas. No? So that's what we mean by across curriculum teaching area. So in summary, ano ba yung mga key points to remember for us to be guided with this particular indicator? So number 1, we need to have mastery or expertise of the subject matter or what we call content knowledge. So dapat as a demonstration teacher, dapat mapakita natin that we are really an expert of the chosen topic. So dapat walang content errors, hindi po mali yung ating mga knowledge na sinishare sa mga bata. And one thing that we can also show that we are experts or master of the subject matter, aside sa alam natin ang scope ng topic natin, ay dapat we need to communicate effectively because there's no way for us to make our learners understand what we are trying to say if we cannot communicate effectively. Aside from that, number 2, we need to have appropriate teaching strategy for the subject matter or what we call pedagogy. So dapat yung mga pipiliin natin mga teaching strategies ay appropriate to the chosen topic and we need to organize instruction effectively and coherently. When we say coherently, dapat yung pagkakasunod-sunod or process natin during our demonstration teaching, when we move from one activity to the next part of the lesson ay dapat smooth or coherent lang and all of those activities are interrelated, addressing in the achievement of the objective. Number 3 ay what we call contextualization or addressing learners' needs. So we need to address the needs of the learners by answering their questions. If it's too difficult or if you are just too fast, you have to adjust instruction right away. You need to always check for understanding. So common questions that we asked are, do you understand? Are you following me? Any questions so far? So those are questions that we can use to check for understanding. And number 4, make meaningful connections of the topic to other learning areas. So we call that intra and interdisciplinary topics. No, so ito yung pinaka-keyword ng indicator na ito. So we should be able to make meaningful connection. In other words, dapat ma-relate po natin yung topic na pili natin to other subject areas. Paano ba ito? So say for example, pwede tayo magkaroon ng reading or spelling or grammar checks. For math naman, counting or measuring. For science, you can have environment or topics about the weather. For MAPE, you can have songs or music or health topics. For TLE, business topics, skills demonstration. For AP, you can discuss about society, politics, current events, or history. And for values education, we can have values formation. So if you find this video helpful, we appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to know the latest updates. Moving on, we'll proceed now to indicator number 2, that is use a range of teaching strategies that enhance learner achievement in literacy and numeracy skills. In this particular indicator, though we are not English or language teachers or math teachers, so dapat ma-incorporate din natin through our teaching strategies the enhancement of the literacy and numeracy skills. So in order for us to get a score of 6, the teacher consistently applies relevant strategies that enhance learners' literacy and or numeracy skills. So ano pa yung dapat mapakita po natin? The features of practice. So the teacher provides activities to enhance learners' literacy and or numeracy skills in all aspects of the lesson. Para ma-achieve po natin yung of literacy and numeracy skills in our lesson, so dapat ma-inject po natin yung mga activities, literacy activities like listening, or speaking, reading, and writing. Pwede po natin sila pabasahin individually or by group, or we can have spelling checks and comprehension check. Numeracy naman, we can have counting, simple operation of multiplication, division, addition, or subtraction. We can have charts and diagrams so that the learners could interpret data and provide logical reasoning. So third indicator, apply a range of teaching strategies to develop critical and creative thinking as well as other higher order thinking skills. So the keywords there are critical, creative thinking, as well as higher order thinking skills. So for the teacher to get a perfect score of 6 for this particular indicator, the teacher challenges learners to justify their thinking and successfully engaging most learners in discussion using well-directed questions and activities. So dito na po natin mapapakita yung ating art of questioning. Kasi so in order for us to get higher order thinking answers, we need to ask higher order thinking questions. So ano po yung features of practice? The teacher challenges learners cognitively to advance high-level thinking and discourse in an interactive exchange of views, and the teacher ensures that all voices of learners are heard in the discussion. What I do, in order for me to generate higher order thinking skills from my learners is that we need to start with the lower order thinking skills. Dapat po natin scaffold yung understanding ng mga bata. What do we mean by scaffolding? So dapat as a teacher, we need to guide our learners from easy to complex ideas or thought. So in order for us to navigate the learners from a very simple concept and then gradually allow them to understand a higher order thinking concept, ay dapat mag-uumpisa po tayo sa lower order thinking skills question. So what are those questions? So you just simply ask, say for example, who or what, when, and where. Those are lower order thinking skills question. After that, asking lower order thinking skills question, you need to gradually bridge them to higher order thinking skills question. So you started to ask the questions how, why, compare and contrast the characters, relate, do you think, why or why not? Do you believe that, why or why not? Cite and explain, and who, what, and then you just simply add justify your answer. So in this case, we are simply allowing learners to think from lower order thinking skills questions to the higher order thinking skills questions. So dapat in the analysis part of your lesson plan, dapat reflective po itong mga thinking skills questions in your lesson plan. Number 4, plan, manage, and implement developmentally sequenced teaching and learning processes to meet curriculum requirements and varied teaching context. In order for the teacher to get a score of 6, the teacher manages well-structured lesson with developmentally sequenced teaching and learning processes to meet curriculum requirements and varied teaching context. So, ang features of practice ay the teacher sequence of activities purposely scaffolds learners towards achieving the lesson's objectives. The teacher's sequence of learning activities keeps learners engaged in the content and has a clear sense of purpose throughout the class period but lacks in-depth processing of the activities. In a nutshell, indicator number 4 means how we write our lesson plan from the very beginning, the first activity up to the last. So, dapat coherent as what I've said, dapat organized appropriately and developmentally sequenced teaching and learning processes. And what do we mean by that? As a teacher, we need to scaffold learners' understanding by activating their prior knowledge. I know our learners, they have, little pieces of information in their minds. So you have to activate those information and relate that in their current topic. So in that way, you are building students' understanding already. So there are a lot of instructional materials that will help you scaffold learners' understanding. We have the different graphic organizers, KWL chart, and those activities that will help them make meaningful connection. And aside from that, babalikan ko lang yung how we sequence all the parts of the lesson. Dapat all activities or parts of the lesson should aim towards the achievement of the objective. And finally, indicator number 5, design, select, organize, and use diagnostic, formative, and summative assessment strategies consistent with curriculum standards. So in order for us to get a score of 6, the teacher provides assessment strategies consistent with the curriculum requirements. And the feature of practice, the teacher predominantly uses assessment strategies which are embedded as an integral part of the lesson and are aligned with the intended instructional or consistent with the content standards. So the teacher encourages the learners to assess and monitor the quality of their work against the assessment criteria and performance standards. So indicator number 5 is all about assessment. And for all you know, before giving the topic of the lesson, assessment already started. The first time that we asked our learners about their prior knowledge, about their interest, that's already a way of assessing their understanding. A piece of advice, we need to plan and prepare all the questions to ask before, during, and after the lesson. So while preparing your lesson plan for demonstration teaching, dapat alam mo na yung mga series of questions to ask before, during, and after the lesson. And whenever you provide, say for example, a performance task, you need to provide rubric as their guide, no? And give the rubric prior to the assessment. Usually kasi nakakalimutan ito during demonstration teaching. Nagbigay ng assessment, performance task, or written work. However, you failed to provide the rubric beforehand. Kasi how will the students know how they will be evaluated or assessed kung hindi nila alam yung standards or criteria for evaluation or assessment? So this time, allow me to give my takeaways, or my tips for all our teachers. May you be a teacher applicant or already in a service, however, you will be having your classroom observation. So here are my tips for you. Number 1, plan, prepare, and practice. So this is a cliche statement, but it works wonder for those people who plan, prepare, and practice. So when we say practice, it means do not memorize your lesson plan. Just simply familiarize the flow and process of your presentation. Number 2, avoid copying lesson plans from the internet or from your coworker or from your friends. What worked for them might not work for you. So just use it as your guide, contextualize, and just get what you think are the best parts of their lessons. And writing a lesson plan is a creative process. You create activities, assessments, and tasks that are reflective of your own abilities and philosophy as a teacher. So at the end, you will be the one to deliver the lesson. So find activities that resonate with you and you can be confident to teach in front of the learners. So my suggestion is not to look for exemplar lesson plans and copy them. Just use them as your guide, but look for the criteria, just like what I am presenting to you, and make that as your benchmark. Kung ano yung hinahanap ng evaluator, yun yung ipakita po natin. Number 3, be mindful of the PPST classroom observable indicators. Instead of just simply copying lesson plans, make the rubric as your guide and standard in writing your lesson plan and in doing your demonstration teaching. And be sure that all indicators are reflective of your own teaching learning process. So, yun po yung aking sinabi kanina. Number 4, allow feedback. Have your work or lesson plan or the demonstration teaching reviewed by your trusted teacher or your friends for comments and suggestion for improvement. For teachers in service, feedback can be done through pre-conference. That's a very important part of the classroom observation to help you adjust your instruction before the classroom observation. Number 5, research. For our teacher applicants, you need to choose topics which you can think can help you demonstrate all the indicators. From the topic itself pa lang, very important na kasi titingnan natin kung madedemonstrate ko ba ang mga indicators na hinahanap ng evaluators. Can I relate the topic to other subject area? Can I inject literacy and numeracy skills? Can I also do different innovative teaching strategies with this topic? So in choosing the topic pa lang, it's very important, and be sure that it's also anchored on the most essential learning competencies. And number 6, weeks or days before demonstration teaching for our teacher applicants, check if the classroom has TV, has projectors, how many students will there be, what grade level and academic level are they in, so that it will help you better plan your teaching learning process. And of course, kapag magda-demonstration teaching tayo for hiring, ay dapat we provide all the materials for our learners and provide copies of the lesson plan to your evaluators. So this time, I will be sharing with you my lesson plan I used during my demonstration teaching. Again, I discourage you to copy the lesson plan. Make this as your guide. Get what you think will work best for you. So I'll have the lesson information. I put the date, the grade level, the subject, the schedule, as well as the core subject description, the content and performance standard lifted from the most essential learning competencies. So I get that from there. And then I have my objectives or competencies. So identify the various elements, techniques, and literary devices in fiction. So kapag very broad, yung ating objective, you can trim it down to a simpler or subtask the objective to a more specific objective. So in my case, the learner should be able to determine the symbols used in the story. So this is in my creative writing fiction class. After that, you have the content, the topic, the reference or references. Very important po na may reference po tayo, time allotment, instructional materials if you do have. And then you'll proceed to the procedure, the preliminaries, opening prayer, checking of attendance, greeting, and recapitulation of the previous topic. And then after that, I had my activities. So guess the magic word, that's for 10 minutes, or pick a door. So in this case, I use PowerPoint presentation. So learners are asked to guess the magic word by associating the picture with the puzzle words presented. Students should be able to complete the puzzle by identifying the figurative meaning of the picture. So I suggest that in the activity part pa lang, dapat you should be able to showcase your best teaching strategy na, or strategies or activities you think that very engaging and interactive that you will take hold of the students' attention. Then after that, I'll have my analysis. And then after that, I'll have my abstraction. That's the time that I'll be able to share the content knowledge to my learners. And of course, always check for students' understanding. And after that, the application. It will be a reading activity. And after the reading activity, there will be series of activities. And I also have my ICT integration, and I did small group differentiated activity para mas mapakita ko po yung mga other literacy and numeracy skills, and at the same time incorporate the topic to other learning areas. So the voice, choose a song that expresses the meaning of the story. For the group 2, there will be the writer, write a letter to the author of the story. Group number 3, investigator. By using graphic organizer, identify the symbolism used in the story. Number 4 will be the actor, reenact at least 3 best scenes in the story. And number 5, the relator. You have to relate the theme of the story in real life situation and the values that you have gained. In this case, since this is a group task, so it's a challenge for teachers in terms of management. So dapat alam din natin how to manage group activities like this. Then after that, I have my rubric, and then my assessment and evaluation. Answer the following questions in your activity notebook. So do you think the author has effectively used symbols in the story? Why or why not? Another higher order thinking skills question. What lessons or insights have you gained from the story which you can apply to real life situation? And again, another higher order thinking skills question. And then after that, I'll have my agreement. Write a poem with at least 10 lines incorporating symbolism. And for the next lesson, study the biography of the Robert Frost. So in our agreement, you can have a follow-up of the topic of the day, or you can have an assignment for the next topic to be discussed in the class. There you have it, guys. If you find this video helpful, we appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to know the latest updates. In our next videos, we will discuss different interactive teaching strategies that you can use in your teaching learning process. You may also check our playlist here where we talk about the new career progression system, hiring and promotion of teachers. Once again, this is Teacher Mark for the Filipino Teachers. Thank you for watching.